So you're wondering whether to start a new YouTube channel or rebrand an existing one. Maybe you want to change your niche and start making different content, or maybe your channel just isn't growing and you think you might be shadow banned, or that you may have confused the algorithm. This is a question I get all the time from clients and creator friends, so I thought I would make a video about it and hopefully save you some hassle in the process as well. Because in reality, there are very few situations where I would actually recommend starting a brand new channel, and we're going to get into that today. Let's start with a very common scenario. Let's say you want to change your niche or content format. For example, maybe you've been making talking head videos, but now you want to start vlogging. The big question is, should you start fresh or should you just rebrand your existing channel? And there are a few things to consider here. The first thing is how different your new content is going to be compared to what you've been creating up until now. Or in other words, how many of your current subscribers will actually be interested in this new direction of your channel? If your new content is radically different, for example, if you have a cooking channel, but now you want to pivot into crypto, not sure why anyone would want to do that, but let's go with it. In that case, then starting a new channel makes sense because your current subscribers likely won't care about the new content and rebranding would just create confusion, whereas a fresh start will eliminate the expectations from your current viewers and help you avoid any negative reactions that could affect the performance of your new videos. So essentially, it's a win-win for everyone if you just start a new channel. But what if your content up until now has been all over the place? And this is something I see very often. Like maybe you've experimented with different topics because you just have many different interests and you didn't know what to talk about on YouTube. And so your channel doesn't really have a clear niche. If that's your case, then you need to check your most viewed videos because those are most likely the ones that brought in the most subscribers. So looking at those will give you a very good idea what people actually subscribe for. Once you've worked that out, again, if your new content is too different from what people originally subscribed for and expect from you, then your audience might ignore your new videos and this will harm their performance because if people see your videos on their homepage but they don't click, then YouTube is less likely to recommend them to others. And this will slow down your growth in the long term. So in this case, again, starting a new channel is probably the better option. This is why I myself started this channel instead of rebranding my other one. My old channel has way more subscribers and is already monetized, but it's about personal development and I make videos in Spanish. If I suddenly started posting advice on how to grow on YouTube in English, that would hurt my channel. That's the same reason this other creator started a separate channel as well. His original channel was about magic tricks, but this one is about YouTube advice. So again, very, very different topics. Audiences are completely different, so it makes sense to keep them separate. And finally, another situation where starting a new channel makes sense is if your old channel has accumulated strikes or anything that could be a red flag in YouTube's books. In this case, a new channel will give you a fresh start without carrying over any negative history. Now, what if your new content isn't that different? Let's say you have a fitness education channel and you want to start posting vlogs about your life. This could actually work, especially if you have a strategy to transition gradually. For example, if you start with vlogs that focus on your workouts or your diet. The general advice is, if a significant portion of your current audience could be interested in your new content, don't start over. Rebrand your existing channel instead. This is what Grace Beverly did. She started with a fitness channel called Grace Fit UK, sharing workouts and fitness education. But then in 2019, after launching her fitness clothing brand, Clara, she pivoted to business and entrepreneurship. She enlisted all of her old fitness videos and transformed her brand into the archetype of a female CEO. In her case, her transition worked because it was gradual and also tied to her fitness business, plus she already had a strong personal brand and a loyal fan base that followed her for her and not just for fitness tips. Another example of this is Catherine Manning. She used to make videos about growing on YouTube, but she recently transitioned into lifestyle content about being a mom. This has slowed down her growth and the views have dropped, but she's accepted it because she's now happier making content that feels right for her. What's interesting is that, unlike Grace, Catherine didn't enlist her old unrelated videos, probably because they're still making her money to this day. Now, this isn't ideal, but I think in her case it's completely understandable. However, if you're in the same position and you're looking to change your niche, I would 100% enlist your old videos that are no longer relevant if you can afford to do so. Otherwise, you're still going to be getting subscribers from those old videos, and those subscribers will expect you to continue making the same type of content. And when they don't get what they sign up for, they will ignore your videos, which can hurt your channel in the long term. So if you're rebranding, my advice is that you start as fresh as possible. And finally, another case where you wouldn't start a new channel is if you've taken a break, but you still want to post the same type of content for the same type of audience. In that case, just start posting again and ideally get into a consistent schedule so that viewers know what to expect. So in short, if you already have a strong personal brand or an engaged audience, even if it's small, and especially if you believe a decent percentage of your followers will be interested in your new content, then rebrand your existing channel. You've already done the hardest part, which is getting your first few subscribers and possibly even getting monetized, and YouTube already has some information about your ideal viewers. All of that will give you a head start, and it means that you won't be starting from zero. But obviously, be ready. If you're changing your content, some people won't like it, some people will unsubscribe, and your views might dip during the transition. That's all completely normal, but if you stay consistent and intentional with your new content, your channel will eventually find its new audience. I know it's very tempting to start fresh, but in most cases, trust me, it's not necessary and it's not even a good idea. I hope this helped. If I haven't covered your specific situation, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. And if you'd like personalized, in-depth help growing your channel or personal brand on YouTube, why don't we hop on a call and chat through your specific case? I will leave the details to book your spot in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.